Credit card debt has been climbing steadily over the last several months, with Americans adding another $27 billion to their credit card balances in the second quarter of 2025 alone. In total, cardholders now owe a staggering $1.21 trillion in credit card debt, a new record high. That represents an uptick of 2.3% from the first quarter of 2025 and a rise of nearly 6% compared to the second quarter of 2024. So what's behind the latest surge? Well, numerous factors are at play. But in a nutshell, this increase was driven, in large part, by a mix of persistent inflation, high interest rates, and continued reliance on credit. With credit card APRs still hovering close to 22% on average, even a modest balance can snowball quickly, making minimum payments feel like throwing water on a grease fire. The good news is, though, that you may have more control than you think. If your balances are growing faster than you can pay them off, negotiating with your creditors directly can be a powerful and often overlooked strategy to utilize. Below, we'll examine how to do that. How to negotiate credit card debt relief on your own. If your balances are growing faster than you can pay them off, here's how you can try to negotiate relief with your creditors. Get prepared beforehand. If you're going to negotiate debt relief on your own, preparation is everything. Start by gathering all your financial documents and creating a realistic budget that shows exactly how much you can afford to pay. Credit card companies want to see that you're serious about resolving your debt, not just looking for a temporary break that will leave you in the same position months later. Your negotiating position also strengthens significantly if you are able to prove you are facing a genuine financial hardship, so document everything, whether it's an issue caused by job loss, medical bills, divorce, or other circumstances. Many credit card companies offer programs for financial hardship, and offering clear insight into what is impacting your ability to pay could be your key to getting help. Understand your options. Credit card debt relief comes in a wide range of forms. For example, some creditors offer help that can temporarily reduce your interest rate, modify your payment plan, or pause your payments altogether for a set period if you are experiencing financial hardship. If a hardship program won't provide enough relief, or if you don't qualify for one, a settlement approach may be better. This typically means offering to pay a lump sum payment that is less than your total balance in exchange for the debt being considered paid in full. This strategy works best if you let your accounts go past due, which signals to your creditors that you are unable to pay and potentially on a path to bankruptcy. Credit card companies know that if you file for bankruptcy, they might get nothing, so a reasonable settlement offer can be attractive. Just beware that going past due could negatively affect your credit score, and your settlement payment to the creditor will likely need to be made in one lump sum. Make the call and stay calm. When you're ready to make contact, call the customer service number on the back of your card and ask to speak with the hardship department or collections department, depending on whether your account is current or already past due. During the call, be polite, direct, and honest about your situation. Explain why you're struggling, how much you can afford to pay, and what kind of arrangement you're looking for. If you're trying to settle your debt, don't be afraid to negotiate. While you should ideally be prepared to pay between 50% to 70% of your total balance as a settlement, you may be able to settle for less, depending on the age of the debt, your financial situation, and other factors. Note, though, that your first few offers might be rejected, especially if you're offering a lot less than your current balance. That doesn't mean the conversation is over, though. Keep trying to find a middle ground with the creditor, but don't make promises you can't keep either. Get everything in writing. If your creditor agrees to new terms, ask for written confirmation before sending any payment. Verbal agreements mean nothing when it comes to debt settlement, and you want clear documentation that shows the terms you have agreed to and confirms that the remaining balance will be forgiven once you fulfill your part of the deal. When debt relief companies can help. While a DIY approach to negotiation is feasible, there are situations where professional debt relief brings value to the table. These companies have established relationships with major creditors and understand the specific programs and settlement ranges that different companies typically accept, and their experience can be particularly valuable if you are dealing with multiple creditors or if your debt situation is complex. Debt relief companies also handle the time-consuming aspects of negotiation, making calls and following up on paperwork while you focus on other aspects of getting your finances back on track. For those who feel overwhelmed by the prospect of negotiating or who have had unsuccessful attempts on their own, this type of professional help can provide practical benefits and peace of mind. However, these services aren't free. Debt relief companies charge fees based on a percentage of the debt enrolled and will likely advise you that choosing to stop payments and letting your debts go past due demonstrates to your creditors that you are experiencing a hardship. However, this can hurt your credit score and lead to collections calls or lawsuits. It's also important to vet any company carefully, read the fine print, and make sure the potential benefits outweigh the risks. The bottom line: credit card debt can feel overwhelming, especially when interest charges keep piling on. There are paths forward, though, whether you choose to negotiate directly or seek help from a professional. The key is taking action early, understanding your options, and making a plan you can follow. While relief may not come overnight, every step you take brings you closer to resolving your debt and getting your finances back on track. Thank you for watching. We hope that you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Please subscribe for more helpful content like this in the future. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. We'd be happy to assist you further. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.